Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 3 In Depth. In today's episode, I've got a lot of shotgun tips for you. I've been using the shotguns a lot lately as a way to vent and relieve stress, but I feel like I haven't quite covered these weapons enough, or that my success with them is greater than the community's success, so I wanted to share with you my tips on how to best use the shotguns in Black Ops 3. Tip number one is don't use the Argus. I'm going to be covering all the other shotguns today, but I'm just going to recommend that you don't use the Argus because while I'm not saying it's trash, it kind of is that it's just too hard to use. It is a good weapon, it has a lot of potential, but it's got a very high skill cap. It tends to be a little inconsistent and fluky at times, and instead of recommending something like that, I'm going to recommend things to you that are very simple, very straightforward, and are very easy to use. So for me, let's go ahead and start with the KRM, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop the fact out there that the recently buffed KRM, and I mean recently isn't honestly like a month or two ago now, the buffed KRM is rather good. It's not as good as the Modern Warfare 2 Spaz or the Black Ops 2 R870, but it is a good weapon. You can definitely get a lot more one-shot kills with it, and it always 100% of the time two-shot kills now, so it's a much more consistent shotgun. It's also best with no attachments at all because none of the attachments really benefit it. Because of the new shotgun mechanics and how they calculate damage, you don't need hip fire to hit more pellets because it's always one or two shots, and that's mostly a range thing. Rapid fire is only 6% more range. Long barrel only affects the maximum distance and not your one-shot kill potential. You don't really need quick draw because you don't need to aim down sights because the pellet spread doesn't matter. Stock won't matter if you're not aiming down sights. Fast mags, extended mags is kind of cool, but you really don't need anything on the gun. There are things you can put on it, but it's not necessary to have anything, so instead you can absolutely load up on perks and just be a perk-heavy monster, kind of like making a knifing class, but you've got a shotgun instead, except I'm going to recommend that you always have gung-ho on and at least one flash or stun grenade because they are very tactical, and bouncing these things around corners and hitting other people is a lifesaver because they can't mow you down when they can't react to you, and gung-ho allows you to fire while sprinting, and most importantly it allows you to fire while knee sliding or doing any sort of other advanced maneuvers like that. And I think that knee sliding into a shotgun shot with the KRM will close gaps and usually get you more one-shot kills. If you've seen the gameplay of me using the KRM, I do it all the time. I knee slide straight into somebody to get there as fast as possible to decrease distance, line up my shot, take the shot, and I get a lot of one-shot kills that way. It's not perfect. Sometimes you mistime it, sometimes the range is off, but sliding into people and popping them while you've got gung-ho is very, very effective, and you get a lot of one-shot kills. Also, the KRM is surprisingly effective on larger maps. Now, this is where you would think the Argus would really come into play, but it doesn't because it's inconsistent, whereas the KRM allows you to spam at surprising ranges on the larger maps in the game. And I think it works better on larger maps just because nobody expects you to be using a shotgun. They're all looking for snipers and LMG users, so you can really throw off their gameplay. Next up, and I've already covered this bit in different in-depth episodes, I'm going to start sounding like a broken record here, but I'm going to sound like a broken record until the community believes me, and that's that the Breechi and the Haymaker are not significantly affected by a silencer because, again, because of the new damage mechanics and the range and the guaranteed 2 or 3 shot kills depending on your range, yada yada yada, but the end result is that neither of these guns are significantly affected by a silencer. It is very easy to put a silencer on the Haymaker and the Breechi and go around spamming people, and it doesn't change your time to kill or range as much as you think it would. You would think that it's terrible and you would not want to use that gun at all, but it's actually not bad. Both of these weapons are best with a silencer and with fast mags. I prefer fast mags over extended mags because fast mags allows me to reload super duper fast, whereas extended mags just, kind of increases my clip size up to, 50% or whatever it is. But fast mags I can just kind of insta reload and keep on shooting. I think that's much more effective. But just run either one of these two with a silencer and fast mags and spam people. Try to get close and spam them. You don't have to worry about aiming down sights. You don't need a laser sight. You don't need any other attachments. Just spam, spam, spam. You'll stay off the radar, and I promise you that you will kill a lot more people than you would think. Like, I'm not just making this up. I'm not on the good drugs today. The Breechi and Haymaker are very nasty when silenced. Overall, the Breechi is probably the better shotgun. It has a little bit more range, a lot more two-shot kills and that kind of thing. But the Haymaker is infinitely easier to use just because it's a spray gun. You can hold down the trigger, run around, drop your silent shotgun rounds everywhere, and mop up whole groups of people. Also works very well with gung-ho. I was going to recommend that next. it's best to combo these two with Ghost and with Gung Ho. Ghost because you're going to be constantly moving and playing aggressively, which means you are not going to be on the radar at all, and Gung Ho so that you can fire while sprinting, and that really throws people off guard as well when you fire just while you're sprinting straight at them or gap closing or anything. It's sort of an increased maneuverability perk, and it works very, very well with these two. And I'm telling you, if you just run around like a madman, play as aggressive as possible with either of these two shotguns, you will definitely get kills. Now, you're not going to go on crazy streaks, but you'll probably end up with a 1.5, 2, maybe even a 3 kill death ratio, depending on your skill. You have to play a little bit more conservatively if you're going the KRM route, but with these two, it's just spam city. And finally, when it comes to specialist, I strongly prefer the abilities on shotguns. As you've seen here, I've been using Glitch almost exclusively, but Glitch and Heatwave are your best friends. Glitch is a mulligan, Glitch is a do-over, Glitch is I have positioned myself poorly in my shotgun rush and I just want a GTFO. You hit the buttons and you never ever run back the way you came. Always go somewhere else because everybody expects you to rush right back around the corner. Just don't do that. Just call it a complete reset and do something different. Heatwave is also very nice. It allows you to stun and disorient large groups of people so that you're more likely to get multi-kills. Pick whichever one you want, but trust me on these shotguns. Run the KRM with no attachments, tons of perks in Gung Ho. Run either the Breechi or the Haymaker with silencer and fast mags, Gung Ho and Ghost, and these special abilities, and I promise you, you're going to do well. Like, this is actually really, really strong. It was not hard for me to get this gameplay at all. Trust me and try it out on your own. Guys, that's all for this shorter, in-depth episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Drifter out.